Treasurer Schroeder has described the capital outlay budgeting process as being, quote, badly broken and, quote, constituting blackmail by not just Governor Edwards, but all his predecessors too. So I don't mean to infer that it's just Governor Edwards.
I've said this for many times now. I have voted against the capital outlay budget several times. I don't like the whole structure of it. I think it's corrupt. I don't like the pay-to-play process that we use. If you're in with a governor, you get what you need. If you're out with the governor, you don't. So I think that's got to be one of the major focuses that we change totally.
The increase in gasoline sales tax in order to improve the roads of Louisiana. Yes or no?
Well, sorry if I'm going to break the rule, I guess, because it's not a yes or no question.
That's a yes or no.
It's not. When you have to sit in a room that makes the decision, it's not that easy. The problem with the gas tax is this. Currently, the places that are booming, like St. Tanny Parish, if I don't vote the way the governor wants me to vote, I get my projects vetoed. So why would my constituents support sending more tax money into a system in Baton Rouge that if my politics doesn't match what the governor wants, he vetoes it? Now, I'm sorry, that's not yes or no. That's called blackmail. You know, that's part of the political corruption that I don't like. Where's that serve the public best interest? It doesn't. So if you want to have a local option to give St. Tanny Parish, and I use that as an example because that's where I represent it. If you want to give them a local option, whether they want to pay more taxes and what they want to use it, if they want very specific projects and how to partnership with the state to do that, then I can live with something like that. But what I'm not willing to do is send more gasoline taxes to this process that is severely broken and they haven't proven they have the ability to fix it.
What is your comments with regard to the capital outlay budgeting process and his commentary thereof?
The question is about capital outlay and its effectiveness and the Treasurer's comments. I won't comment on the Treasurer's comments about that. I will tell you, I am grateful that this governor for the first time said, I'm going to put $40 million of capital outlay into the Highway Trust Fund because we needed it. I'm happy that this governor says a third of the money he's going to spend is going to be on capital projects that are state-owned, things like deferred maintenance. And so I think when you work within that system, it has its effectiveness. Likewise, I think there's a lot of stuff happening in capital outlay that's got billions of dollars on the paper, but only $300 million in the bank on an annual basis. And under anybody's formula, that will be a challenge, and it will force legislators and decision makers to have to make a decision. And so when I look at capital outlay, I don't look at it as being broken. I look at it as a tool to help me make match next year, which means if I want to draw down that extra $130 million that I'm getting today that I might not get tomorrow, I want to use some of that capital outlay to make that happen. And I realize that that's going to mean some things in capital outlay may not get funded. That's not my concern in terms of other things not getting funded. It's just a situation of how much do we really have and how best to stretch those dollars. And so when you look at capital outlay funding, you want to maximize it as best you can. And I think we're going to be in a much more tight situation where more and more is going to have to be spent on public infrastructure, because I don't know that any other project in capital outlay outside of things that are going to match Corps of Engineer funding, it's going to bring down 80% more or 90% more of what we use. And so it's just a simple math equation. I think we're going to have to use more of it, and I think this governor is committed to it, as demonstrated to us. The other issue, I think, with capital outlay is a great deal of those projects that are listed in that bill come from legislators. And many of those legislators don't want to fund those things the way they should be funded, or they're wanting to force them into that $300 million pot. And that's not a criticism. I think that's an inherited situation. And so we realize that you just don't have enough money to do everything you want. Just force some tough decisions.
Thank you.